inspiration for Jupiter came from my feeling like I'm just from another planet. I've felt that way since I was a little girl. I couldn't really ever explain it to anyone. I kind of can't explain it to this day, but it's just this feeling of, maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I am from somewhere else. I remember when I was writing the song, it was about 2:30 in the morning. I was 17. I hadn't yet moved to LA. And I was just playing my guitar in our living room, and I could hear my mom coming down the hallway, and I was like, oh no, she's gonna be upset. It's 2:30 in the morning and I'm out here playing guitar. And I just remember she was like, Grace, you gotta go to bed. Oh, and by the way, that's the kind of song you need to find to sing. That's what you need. A song just like that would be, life-changing for you. She thought I was singing a cover, and I was singing Jupiter, which is the last song on the album, but it was the first song that I wrote for the project. And it was in writing that song I realized the depth that this project had. I was like, I can't just leave it here with this one song. I gotta go back in time and write the whole story. The way I describe Jupiter to anyone who asks is a love letter to my younger self. It's almost like if I could talk to her, Jupiter is what I would say. All those words in that song are what I just wish, if I had 30 seconds just to explain all that she was going to go through and all the ups and the downs and all the people she was going to meet, that song would be what I would say to her. Jupiter was one of those sort of 10-minute songs, and I always say that when you write a song really quickly, a lot of the times those are your best ones because you didn't have time to think. You just did, you just did it and it came out, and it's the most honest way to write, in my opinion, because when you don't spend a lot of time on something, you can't spend time over analyzing, which I am totally guilty of. I will, I'm a total perfectionist, so sometimes I'll just go at something over and over and over, and you lose a little bit of magic when you start to do that. And so Jupiter was a really quick write, 10 minutes in the middle of the night. When I wrote it that night, all I knew was I wrote a good song. I'm happy with it. I'm proud of it. My mom liked it. I didn't realize that it would be the start of my first album. As I've gotten older and as I've written more songs, there's definitely been songs throughout, the last however many years that I've said, wow, okay, that's significantly better than anything I've done prior. Jupiter was one of those songs for sure. It was almost, even though I was 17, it almost felt like the first song I wrote as an adult, because for the first time I was actually looking back on my life as opposed to thinking about the future or writing about things that I haven't experienced yet and just want to. It was really, really honest, and I think that Jupiter is one of those songs. It's one of the only songs I've never gotten sick of. As an artist, once you hear something 100 times, you're like, oh, forget it, whatever. But I don't know. I think I've listened to that one 1,000 times, and it still sounds to me like it sounded that night on the couch. It really is the first 18 years of my life. It's a love letter to younger me, and I think if I looked back on it 20 years from now, I'd say the same thing. I don't think it changes. The other side of Jupiter that I speak about is a place that it really exists in my mind. It's not a real place, but it's the place that I'm most free. And it's completely made up. It's my own little world that I go to when I need to feel safe. It's Jupiter. It's out into the universe, out into the stratosphere. We don't know where it is, if it exists, if it's real. It's almost my fantasy land that I sort of find myself in when I don't want to be in the real world anymore. And I think it's important for everyone to find those little safe spaces, whether they're real or not, to go when, they're having a hard time. I think imagination is probably my favorite part of being a human being, because you just have the ability to almost change your reality at your fingertips, and I think it's very cool. And imagination is anything and everything you want it to be, and I think that's beautiful. I think that's art. I think imagination is art. And like I said, Jupiter, this place that exists in my mind, is my safe place. But I think that everybody has one, and you just sort of have to find what yours is. I think that Black Box as a project never really ends. I don't think you ever get out of it. I don't think you ever stop learning. I don't think you ever stop growing. I think it's something that exists forever. But with that being said, I do think there's a way to almost break it open and invite a lot of good into your life. I think that, as you grow up, you're going to go through so many different things, good and bad, and it's going to be a totally mixed bag. Sometimes it's going to be more one than the other. But I do think as much as you can use your imagination to sort of escape and create your own reality, I think it's incredibly helpful. It's certainly what I did. When I was younger, I used to sit in my room and I wrote songs all night long, and those songs became real, and they became something that I'm now going to put out into the world. I think that, as a kid, you just have to find something that you love, that you can put everything into. And I think that having something really special to you and really important that can be your passion and, your purpose in life is key.